In 1985, under the presidency of Ronald Reagan, EPA Administrator Lee Thomas created the IRIS program, which is the Integrated Risk Information System. Now, this is not a office authorized by Congress. It is solely under the jurisdiction of the EPA. The whole point of this program was to basically standardize the ways in which EPA scientists would study the toxicity and the hazards of certain chemicals when they are released into our atmosphere. And this has to do with our air, our water, our land, and also just the different offices that use chemicals within the United States of America. It is the baseline for a lot of regulations that we have in our particular society. And of course, it was mentioned in Project 2025 as something that was unnecessary in the present day. And the specific verbiage that they use is that it is a precautionary hazard-based approach instead of a risk-based approach, because they feel as though that the results from IRIS and the tests that they do is being, I would say, too heavy-handed and preventing the, I would say, free development of particularly use and I would say use levels of chemicals within our corporations, industry, and saying that the risks to the environment are overblown, essentially. And so one of the biggest detractors about this is the American Chemistry Corporation, which I have to say is, American Chemistry Council, which is the ACC, which has actually sued this particular program. And one of the things that they point out in their particular, issues is that a lot of the data from IRIS was completed decades ago, which is a valid point, right? I think the specific term is that 80% of his assessments were completed before 1995, right? Which I guess gives them a point in that direction. But what's ended up happening is that the Trump administration is casting, doubt on the validity of this program, but they are not providing an alternative. And that's always the issue I have with the ways in which they regard science. They want to say that we should be doing it in a different way, and then they gut or they make it inefficient, and then they don't provide an alternative that would take up what is actually being, I would say, decimated or destroyed in their wake. And so I'm going to kind of go through a couple of videos where I talk about how this IRIS program is actually very important to Americans' overall health in this country. There are situations in which this program could undergo more oversight, and it could be brought up to modernity, I would say that, because it is not perfect, but we can't let perfect be the enemy of good. And in this particular instance, the Trump administration is using this as an excuse to get rid of all, I would say, chemical regulation or moderation within our society just for the benefit of corporations to pollute as much as they can.